Hey everybody! Today is July 4th. Happy Independence Day! It's Thursday, so yesterday I had my therapy, and yesterday was a very long and exhausting day. This week has just been chaotic, because last Saturday we had the surprise birthday party for my dad, and that went well. But it was pretty intense. I guess, let's see, Monday I had my Balanced Mindful Eating group, and that was good. We just talked about like different situations that are hard with eating disorders because our society is so set on dieting. So yeah, that was good. And Tuesday in my group, we talked about the issues of feeling competitive, and basically everyone else in the group said people just need to not get offended by it. So I don't think I will be going to group anymore because I can work the 12 steps on my own, like with my therapist, and like it'll still be effective. And so yeah, I don't think I'll be going to group anymore because it's too much of a trigger for me. I always leave feeling like I don't know. I always feel depressed when I leave and very unmotivated. I never want to do what I'm supposed to when I leave. So it's not a good thing for me to keep going to that. Wednesday, also Tuesday, I had a therapy session with my parents. And like we went over my recovery plan and that kind of stuff. And I thought it went really well. And then we went to my sister's, we had dinner, and then went to group, and we drove home, and then like I spent some time upstairs with my mom. Plenty of time for us to talk, and we didn't. I didn't think there was like any issues really. Like we talked, but not like talk. And then Wednesday morning, I'd gotten up and eaten breakfast, and my mom came down and blew up at me completely. Like, said that I need to be okay with her talking about how much everything is costing, and sorry, my mom was like right outside my door, so I have to kind of be careful what I say. In the therapy session, I had said that some of the comments my mom had said to me recently made me feel like she wasn't being supportive. And like I was being honest with the way that I felt, and it totally came back to bite me in the butt. And like she totally freaked out at me, and she said it's hard for them to pay for my therapy and these extra groups that I'm going to when I have all this money sitting in the bank and they're having a hard time putting food on the table. And that hurt. It made me feel like she resents me a lot. And she said there's no point in shelling out all this money for you to not be progressing. And that was really hard. And I had said to my therapist that Mom had been like freaking out when I'd had a tour of the Center for Change, and that wasn't taken well. My mom said that she was very embarrassed by it, and I just felt very attacked. And so she kept saying, what do you want me to do to support you? Well, she's not going to be that emotional support. She never has been, and she probably never will be. And that's what my dad does. My mom and I are just not going to have like that typical, and I don't even know how typical it is, but that typical mother-daughter relationship. That's just not, and I think that's why sometimes I get attached to certain women, because I feel like that's a void that I'm missing, because my mom can't be that for me. So I ended up going to my sister's apartment that's like 10 minutes away, and spent the morning there, and my mom called me, and I refused to answer. And she texted me to see where I was at, so I texted her where I was at, and then she said that she realized she didn't handle things the right way. But the hard thing with that is that's how she always handles stuff, and then she always apologizes for it. She always jumps the gun, and then is like, oh crap, I shouldn't handle it that way. And so that just makes it kind of hard sometimes. So I spent the morning at my sister's, and then I went down for therapy. And my therapist, Cheryl, was frustrated that my mom handled things the way that she did. She didn't want me to personalize it or internalize it, is that a word. But it's been hard not to do that. And that's pretty much all we talked about in my therapy session. That was the biggest issue. And then I went and met with my dietitian, and this week has been a struggle. It's been a real struggle. There's been not horrible restricting, but there's been some restriction. So right now I have to really get on at least 2 snacks a day, and I'm having to up my dinner right now because I do have to be on a weight restoration diet, which is not what I really particularly want to do. So I'm just kind of confused right now about what is going to be best for me, if I am going to need inpatient or not. And then I had my Essentials to Recovery group, where we had to write down 1 negative and 1 positive thing about our recovery, and then, or like where we're at in recovery, I guess. And then we had to draw 2 out and like lead a group discussion on it. So that was good, just because the things people said I can completely relate to. And then I had my outpatient open process group, and I like that group. It's a very small group. There's like 5 of us in there. And you can get input from other people that are dealing with eating disorders. And so we spent quite a bit of time actually talking about what had happened yesterday morning with my mom. And I had just committed to talking to my mom when I got home from group, because I was dreading coming home from group. Because I left the house at like 9:45 in the morning, and I don't get home on Wednesdays till like 8 from therapy and groups and stuff. So I'd been dreading it all day because I did not want to talk to her. But the group, they gave me the support that I needed to be able to talk to my mom. So, and when I got home, my mom was gone. So I had to sit there and wait. And I called my dad on my way home, because it's about a half-hour drive. So I talked to him the whole drive home. And he gave me some advice and tips on talking to my mom, because it was something I had to do. No one else could do it for me. And I didn't tell my mom how I felt because it seemed like I was just going to get attacked if I did tell her my feelings. But she did tell me that she does resent me. And that's hard to hear from your mom. Somebody who's supposed to love and support you. Hearing from your mom, she resents you. That's really hard. She resents me because of all the money they're shoveling out for my therapy, and it's taking so long. I don't like that it's taking so long. I really just want to go back to my eating disorder. So then I don't have to feel these things. There's not that added pressure of having to deal with the food so much. And that was something that was brought up in one of my groups yesterday, was that eating disorders are probably the hardest addiction to overcome, because every other addiction, it's taking something out of your life. And I don't want to say that other addictions are easy to get over, because they're not. I know that. I don't know for myself, but I've seen people struggle through that, and I know that they're not easy. But eating disorders, you have to face your addiction and fear 6 times a day. And that's hard, especially in a society that's constantly is body obsessed and food obsessed. That's hard. And so that's why I wish I could just go back to my eating disorder. Anyway, she also told me that she resents, like 2 months ago, I went to Disneyland with one of my sisters. It was just the two of us. I mean, we're in our early 20s. That's what people in their, we like to go on vacations. Neither one of us is married. We don't have attachments. So why not go do something fun with each other? And she said that she resents that. And it's just hard to hear that. And she did tell me that she wasn't jealous of the relationship with my dad, but I'm still having a hard time believing that, because she does get frustrated when I won't tell her things and I'll tell my dad stuff. And it was really frustrating that she waited till everybody was gone to blow up at me. And at the end of our session, Cheryl said, "Okay, are we all good? Is there anything else? Or are we all good?" And Mom was like, "Yeah, we're fine." Like, she totally seemed fine. And then all of a sudden it was like, and like, it totally caught me off guard. And so that does make it seem harder than, or worse than it probably was. It still wasn't fair. And Cheryl said that we can't have family sessions anymore because we don't want these blow-ups. And it's not, because it's not healthy for me. But, and Mom needs help, but she won't go get help. She doesn't think she needs any help. So I'm still trying to deal with that, because I don't feel like a whole lot was accomplished yesterday. I guess I see where she stands. One thing that I have struggled with is that she has refused to go to my church to get help to pay for treatment, because our insurance doesn't cover inpatient, and she's absolutely refused. And she told me why, and then she said that a couple weeks ago, when I was really facing inpatient, that they were ready to go talk. And so that did make me feel a little bit better. And I did ask her if she feels like my eating disorder is her fault, like if she feels guilt for that. No, I'm not saying that she should, but it's normal for parents to feel that guilt. So I guess I can see her side of stuff more, but I can't be open with her, and that's frustrating. So it's been hard today, and yet, well, it was hard yesterday to stick with my meal plan. And today being a holiday, having food and stuff, that just adds more stress onto everything else. So just trying to hang with it, because I don't really have another choice. So like I've said, I think in one video, if you want to have me do any kind of explanation or topic about eating disorders, I am more than willing to do that. I think that the world needs to be more educated about eating disorders, so if you would like to hear about that, please comment. And don't forget to subscribe. That would be great. Because this is very helpful for me to be able to make these videos. So, till next week, see ya!